Over the last couple months, MLB The Show 21, the PCI has received a lot of changes. First, there was a really overpowered meta where you could throw pitches on the corners, and your PCI, especially on Legend difficulty, couldn't get all the way to the corner, so you would basically only hit ground balls on pitches right on the corner. So what they did eventually was patch this by expanding the range of the PCI. This solved the issue of that broken meta, but it made the PCI range really big, and that became another set of issues, from making the PCI a lot more sensitive and difficult to control, to making it so PCIs can go pretty far out of the strike zone, resulting in more foul balls and fluky hits. So the other day, we got another patch to the PCI. Apparently the PCI range has been taken away a little bit again. So we're gonna test it, compare it to what the game was before, and see how much of an impact and what actually is gonna be changed with the patch that happened the other day. Let's get into it. So this patch happened the other day. This is something that I wanted to test for myself before I covered on the channel. Actually give a feel of the game like this before I actually went and talked about it. This update, when we had it the last time, I just kind of went into it full send. Some other consequences happened with the PCI update that I wasn't able to recognize until I was able to test. So on the night of November 9th, they updated the game with this patch. They said, following the feedback from the PCI changes made in update 17, we're scaling back the reach of the PCI by approximately half. Players can still reach the corners of the zone, but there was a decrease in the coverable region outside of the zone. Which this is exactly what I had said a little while back on Twitter. I was thinking they just need to reduce the coverage really far out of the zone. It would help with the sensitivity of the PCI since the overall range isn't as big, but also it helps with those really far out of zone foul balls and fluky hits that you would see here and there. They did not provide any visuals, unfortunately. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to overlay it from what the game used to be to where it is now. And I went back to my video of when the patch did come out, and we're just gonna look at the PCI, just try to get a visual look of what the PCI used to be. Just try to see if you could pick up on any trends. The PCI could move really far. Like, look at on the bottom left of the feedback. Look at how far into the corner that PCI is. The PCI is definitely very sensitive, especially in this Legend difficulty here, because of the range that it would move. I could just look at it from the video here that you could see how sensitive the PCI is. But I'll try to get a visual overlay going of the PCI moving so we could get a good visual of how much the range has changed. And you'll see this is how far into the corner you used to be able to reach, and this is how far you're able to reach currently. So there is a slight change in the overall range, but you see on Legend difficulty you could still reach those corners, but the PCI isn't as sensitive now, so you're able to control it a little more, and it's going to make hitting a little easier overall. Honestly, some people struggled since the PCI update because of the PCI sensitivity. It wasn't easy for people to hit because of how difficult it was to really be pinpoint with it. It was easy for people to get the PCI all over the place, and also those fluky things would happen. And just for a little testament of what the game felt like, since I was hitting really well since the patch dropped. I think my first game was this right here. This is when I played ranked the other day. 4-1 win, you know, solid win, and then 9-1, 10-4, 6-0 rage quit. I was destroying the baseball. This game was on Legend, this last one too. I was really on the baseball the last day of ranked I played. I know it's one day, and I did definitely hit solid before the patch. It does feel like, though, that you have more control of the PCI overall, which I think is a good thing. It's good that they implemented this change. It still solves the issue we had with the PCI meta, but it just makes the range a little bit less crazy, tones down the sensitivity a bit since that range is smaller, so it gives you more control of your PCI, a lot closer to what we had before. You could still reach the corners. You could do that very easily, but as you see, there's definitely a little bit more control, and I think the big deal is Hall of Fame and Legend on here. This is where I really felt the update had an impact, especially on Hall of Fame. I feel like this second patch really makes hitting feel good. I know some people who aren't the most comfortable on Hall of Fame did struggle since the patch, and this makes it feel a little bit closer to what it used to be. And you see, as swings like that, you could still reach the corner. That is 100% sure. You just can't really get as far. It just reduced the range a little bit, which I think is great. So yeah, I just wanted to use this video to go through the patch, offer my initial thoughts. Truly, I think it's a good patch. Unfortunately, this stuff is very difficult to test because it's all a field thing. It's all down to personal preference. But in general, you could definitely tell that the PCI range has been reduced at least a little bit in game. And for you guys, especially that play on Hall of Fame and Legend, I really think this is going to be a bigger deal for you. On Hall of Fame and Legend, you have to be more precise with the PCIs. Since the PCIs are smaller in All-Star, you kind of have more control on where it can be. So I think really that this is a big deal for that. But I'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you think of the patch? Have you done anything good? Have you improved since the patch has come out? Or do you not really feel differences? Does the game feel the same for you? I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to stream the new program when it drops today at 3 p.m. So if you're watching this, I'm probably going to be live right now. So make sure you swing by the Twitch. Come hang out with me, ask me any questions. And we'll be grinding out some of the inning program and hopefully getting Parallel 5 Gleyber Torres if he drops today. Have a great rest of your day. Hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll see you all again in the next video later this week. Deuces.